Hello, welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to be showing you inside my latest sketchbook. It's not taken me long to finish this. I filled it in just over a month and I'm really pleased with all the fun things I've been drawing, so let me show you what I've been up to. So this sketchbook is my moleskin art collection, and it's a small size which is really handy to keep in my handbag, kind of carry around with me. But it's the 165 GSM paper, which is really nice. I love the quality of the paper in here. It's kind of thick enough that you can use water medium on there, but it's also really smooth as well, so it's great for using coloured pencils. So yeah, it's just a lovely kind of texture and a base to lay down all sorts of mixed media. Anyway, as you can see, I started this on the 4th of January. This is something I've started doing recently, is trying to date my sketchbooks, because I've been, making art for so many years now, and I've got so many sketchbooks that I have no clue when I completed them. And it's nice to be able to see the progression of my work. So anyway, yeah, this was this year. So this has taken me just over a month to fill, which is nuts to me. This is definitely the quickest I've ever worked. And I think, one, because I've really dedicated my spare time, or dedicated my time really, to making art. But secondly, I think it's because I'm just really on a roll with it this year. I'm just really enjoying this small size here, so that it meant that I could quite easily do a whole spread in one day. And in some cases I've done several. So for example, I'd lay down quite a lot of these colour bases all in one go. So I might do that in just one session, and that will only take half an hour. So it's quite a quick way to work and a quick way to fill up pages. Anyway, yeah, so that's quite often how I'll start, is I will kind of dot around like a few different pages, not just focusing on one at a time. But as you can see, put down my colour base. This was using my Inktense blocks, because you can tell from the lovely pink, and I love this kind of texture that it creates here. You can see all your brush strokes, so very textural. That's kind of what I'm going for with my colour blocking. But yeah, practicing drawing leaves as well, so I will use reference images. Eyes as well, which is something I've done. This is a theme that runs throughout my work sometimes, with this kind of dream or imagination. So sometimes you'll see I do heads at the bottom. I haven't done that for a while. Got a little owl that's poked in here. It's one of my favourite animals. I love owls. They're so magnificent and beautiful. But again, practicing drawing leaves. Another mandala orb as well. So just sometimes it's just that mindful doodling. This was something a bit different for me. I laid down a bit, well actually, I did a page that I really hated and the colours went really muddy, so I thought, right, I'm not going to waste this page. So I painted block colour over the top using my gouache. So it was these two colours here, and that was a really nice base to work on top of. And then I went over the top with my Posca pens, so acrylic markers, and that was just something really different for me. That's not usually how I work, so it was nice to kind of play around. So again, lots of lovely colour work down there first of all, and then sketching over the top. I've kind of not added the black into this one, so that's quite interesting to me, to sort of work a bit more just in the colours. But you can see here I've built up a few layers of different patterns and things using my acrylic markers. So they're slowly creeping into my work. Here's another page that's kind of this imagination or dreamscape. So again, the night sky works really well with this. I can practice my leaves and things and vines, and it's all to do with kind of thoughts. But yeah, I've got like a little house and a bird. So they're quite surrealist actually, these, and I'd love to work on these and do some of these bigger as well. These are so fun. But yeah, I'm really on a roll at the moment with doing these mandala orbs and just practicing all these little sketches around the edge. I really like this kind of wavy effect. This was something I've not really done before. So that was really nice to kind of play around with the doodles that I use. This I did after going for a walk, and I took photos of leaves and flowers. I didn't finish the spread, as you can see, but it's nice to have my own reference images to work from, and it makes it really personal that these were actually physical plants and things that I came across in my world, just kind of beyond my doorstep. So it's a really nice way to connect to the world around me. Again, putting down a colour base here was so fun. This is quite a nice way to just splurge with colour, and again you can do it in quite a kind of a mindful meditative way of not really worrying about what the colour looks like and just putting that down, just covering the page so you've got no white space, and then drawing on top. So this was really nice, and it's almost a bit of a flat lay type thing. You could again go for a walk and collect things as you go, and when you get home lay them out onto a board or something and then take a photo, and that would be a great reference image. And again, it's a great way to connect to the world around you. So here's another one. This was one of the last spreads that I did actually, and it was, yeah, just doodling things, looking at seed heads and things like that. Now these are really fun. I'd love to colour these in actually. I kind of inked them out and then was almost too scared to add colour. And this is something that happens to me quite a lot. I kind of get to a point where I really like where the idea is going and then I'm too scared to commit to it. But yeah, these are really nice designs. I think they'd be quite cool stickers or maybe like greetings cards or something. Anyway, again, like working with florals, just kind of practicing my sketching. This one as well, I love this. So really looking at all the detail in an iris flower, really getting up close in there. So loads of detail. And again, it's very different really from what I normally do, but it's really nice to draw from observation. I think it's so, like you learn so many skills from doing that, and then you can kind of abstract things a bit more. Again, here we are, this kind of almost dream-like image. So I've got faces in there and then she's got her flowers. So maybe it's, you know, ideas are blossoming, or there's so many things that you could kind of draw from these sort of images. And this was when I went into drawing leaves. So obviously I've got these as well. And I've done that whole video on how to draw leaves. These are really, really fun. These would be great stickers actually. But again, just putting down the coloured base first of all, and then inking out over the top. And it's just a really fun way to work. I've got loads of these. So yeah, just practicing the drawing. This was nice as well, just really splurging down. If you can see, there's really scribbly backgrounds here. So I've put down a colour wash first of all, and then I've used my coloured pencils over the top, really getting in a lot of almost movement in there and texture and just layers of things. So it's really fun to work with. And then yeah, added in my night sky and then just sketch my leaves in as well. So really pleased with that page actually. It's unexpected but really nice. And then we move more into kind of mandala orb style images again. Lots of my doodles, leaves, more leaves. You can see that I was really obsessed with these, really enjoying that process. So yeah, I do these half mandala orbs as well, which is really fun to work with. These were nice to do, just on a small scale, just quicker then as well. They're quick and easy to draw when they're like this. And again, it's a way that I can really practice my doodles. So that's really fun. And I quite like the kind of different colours. So there's something really beautiful about this sort of pink and kind of apricot colour. I love that. So I think I've done a lot of things in the green and turquoise. So it was nice to branch out a bit. This was me making plans, so ideas for composition on how to do larger pieces. So if I had a big piece of paper, I could do like the colour flow here, and then the squiggle is where all the doodles would be. So just trying to plan out big pictures here, big pieces. So yeah, it's quite nice to use this sketchbook for kind of planning, and it shows my thought process as well of how I'm trying to develop my work. This one I love, loving the pink, and again it's really different for me to not use the black because sometimes the black can be quite heavy and harsh. So this is the first time I've used a different colour, and actually I really like the pink as the background. So again, this would be nice, maybe even watercolour. I mean, this is just a Tombow pen I think that I used in the background, but it's just nice to mix things up and change things up a bit. So here I went back to my colourways. I think again this is where I just prepped a load of pages, and then when I had time I'd go back in and just doodle. This is the sort of thing I do when I'm at work or if I go to a cafe, and I can just dip in and out of it then. This is nice as well, adding in sort of the pinky purple. I do quite like this. And this one, which is really bold, I feel like I could do a lot more work here. I really want to focus on doing more abstract kind of colourway and really getting that depth, but you can see all the squiggles and things in behind, so there's a lot going on. But I really like that idea of mass colour and then all the details, so you're really drawn into one section of the work, of the page. This was what I did in a cafe. It'd be quite nice to colour this in actually, but this was when there was a vase of flowers sort of over here and the light was shining this way, and this was the shadow that was cast. So I was just using like the end of my pen and really doing squiggly lines to try and capture the amazing shadow that was cast across the page. It's just really interesting, really nice abstract again. Really interesting way of kind of working with drawing flowers. Here you can see again so much movement. This almost looks a bit manic. I think sometimes you can tell the mood I'm in from the way the colour is put down. So that's really interesting to me. Again, I've got this lovely pink in here, but this contrast with the blue, and it is very scriggly and squirrely, but yeah, again, it's just really nice to see that progression. And I love the flow here. It's almost like an upside down rainbow, but this sense of flow and movement, and this feels quite fast to me because of all the squiggles. So yeah, I love the sense of emotion that comes through on the page. I think that's really fun when you're making art, is to really put your soul into it. So again, here, lots of big squiggles, and then this, obviously done the colour work through the centre, and then lots of doodles. So I really like this page as well. And yeah, simple little things here, just using a little bit of colour. And instead of drawing the mandala orb around it, I thought, right, why don't I just draw some things on top of it? So I feel like this could have another flower or something here, and then maybe a midnight sky. But yeah, really pleased with this one. That would be a nice sticker as well, I think. Lovely big mandala orb. Again, really fun working with colours in here. This would be really nice big. So it's this sort of thing that inspires me to do bigger work, and then getting all this crazy detailing around it. And working a little bit differently here as well, where I sort of worked on the side. So thinking about potentially you could add another kind of half here, and it could be maybe a different colour. Anyway, just really fun, again, to play with scale, using very similar motifs, all the dots and things, but just using them in quite different ways. This one as well, you've seen quite a few of these in this book with this kind of splurge of colour across here in the leaves, but I just did the midnight sky almost like a thought that was coming across the page, so it doesn't fill it. So that was a little bit different for me. And then I moved into flowers. So again, putting down this colour base, using this pink that I've discovered I really like, and then kind of drawing over the top. This is quite nice. I'm quite interested in this sort of adding in the night sky over the top in sections. So that was, again, kind of pushing the boundaries of how I already work. And here we are, drawing some more flowers. So just using a reference, trying to just sort of capture the swirliness of like a rose. Roses are really hard to draw. Have you ever drawn a rose? Anyway, yeah, just so fun to explore, experiment. Putting a few things on a page as well is quite fun. And then just kind of, I feel like adding something like the midnight sky can help to draw things together. So instead of them looking like separate things on the page, it kind of helps to blend the page as one. And then, yeah, the backs of my book were just these kind of swatching pages. And then at the very end, here we are, finished date the 10th of February. So yeah, really pleased with how quickly I filled this. And it wasn't filler pages either. It was really kind of work that I'm developing, that I'm working through. I'm pushing myself all the time, but also I'm just letting myself be inspired by the things that want to come through. And I think that's been really important for me this year. I'm trying to just go with the flow of the ideas that keep coming up for me, and just seeing where these ideas take me. Like this feels a bit different really from the rest of the book, but it's okay, it doesn't matter. And this might be an idea that I come back to and doing a whole project out of, maybe in a few years' time. So you never really know, and I think this is why it's really important to keep your old sketchbooks as well, because when you refer back to them, you will have forgotten the amount of work you've done and the types of work you delved into. So it is just almost like a little library of how you were feeling and thinking and what you were working through at the time. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I'm really looking forward to starting a new one, and I've got a huge moleskin, so that's going to take me ages, I think, to fill. But yeah, I will see you very soon for another video. Lots of love. Thanks for watching. Bye.